And I looked him straight in the eye and I said, it's for this reason that cats were treated as royalty in ancient Egypt, and they've never forgotten.
Never forget.
Never forget.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to maybe not the best content on Wednesday night, but it's definitely the most live. Welcome to another episode of Sawdust Talk. We're on episode 109, and we have a very, very special guest tonight. After Adam, it's a mystery guest. But before we get into that, we want to take a quick second. We want to thank our sponsors because they let us keep doing this tomfoolery. And I don't know if they watch the episodes because they definitely don't tell us to stop making up their corporate taglines. So special thanks to Surf Prep, where the abrasives are abrasive, but the personalities are not. You can save 10% on anything that you want, including car insurance at surfprep.com using code SawdustTalk. And George Supply Co. If you want to start your own maker swag, maker branding thing, talk to Scott. He'll hook you up. You can get t-shirts, and t-shirts are dope. If you don't have a t-shirt with your own logo on it, are you really an influencer? Who's to say? We don't know.
Quick bonus shout out to Surf Prep. Hannah is allowing me to take the drywall sanding rings for a test ride in this bathroom that I've been refinishing. And when paired with a long arm drywall sander with dust collection, I'm pretty excited about beating the heck out of a textured ceiling from like the 60s or 70s. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm excited about the drywall frisbees.
Yes, one and the same. The Arobi of Justice is going to flatten my ceiling.
I was really pumped to see those because they just reminded me of like wide receiver gloves, the like super gritty ones that help you catch the ball, except it's on the ball, not on your gloves.
Yeah, don't throw them to your dog. Not for dog teeth.
But hey, we have a special guest tonight.
We do have a special guest tonight. We almost did what we always do, where we just start talking about Surf Prep nonsense and just making up descriptions for all their products. But we've got Adam. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Do we have to give your unofficial tagline, like, for legalities?
I mean, no. Yes. I actually, I got that removed.
Ooh.
It's not in my bio anymore. But yes, go ahead.
Oh, well, Sawdust Talk is not officially affiliated with Adam Barnett or Barnett Builds, which is also not affiliated with a large woodworking tool company. It rhymes with Schmalachler.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're allowed to say it or not. I'm never sure where the legalities end and begin.
I don't think there is. I mean, essentially their concept with it, get ready for a laugh. They don't want me to use my celebrity status for personal gain.
I mean, you are basically a celebrity, so.
You are kind of a big deal.
You guys are so nice. I was just immediately going to roast him about his status.
I roast like when they told me that, I just kind of laughed myself. But I mean, I get it. You know, it's a conflict of interest kind of thing. So it is what it is. It bummed me out that I had to put that in my bio because it's confusing. And also the characters in your Instagram bio is very limited. So I was like, but when I was at Workbench Con, I changed it to Rockler Boy, not affiliated with Rockler. And that upset some people. But instead of like, hey, it was just like, get that out of there. Just stop. So I was like, all right.
Stop talking about us.
So if you want to fix things with your bosses, do offensive things, and then they'll just sweep it under a rug. Maybe that's a terrible advice. I'm sorry.
That one's going on the Chiron. to get ahead at work, offend those above you. It won't help.
How to grow your 9 to 5 with Adam.
Push the boundaries till they break.
It's worked for me. And then I left I mean, that's all I'm saying.
So it didn't, you didn't like push the boundary. You just set fire to the whole place, metaphorically, and then peaced out. Well, Adam, we can get into more of how that kind of came to be later, but how did you get into making? Like, how did you get into this space? How did you get in the community? What is your origin story?
I don't even know. It's so convoluted. My dad had a shop in the back of the garage when I was a kid. He's a woodworker. Grandpa, you send him in the woods, he comes back with a chair, like, just woodworkers from Southeast Kentucky. And I don't know. So it's just like my whole life, it's just been normal to build stuff and fix things. And then middle school, did some shop class stuff. I got really into art. Like, I was that weirdo kid carrying around a sketchbook and a pencil always. And I don't know, just really dug into art. Like, I wanted to be a comic book artist. And then, I don't know, it's just, there's always been a creative outlet. So it changed from art into music for a while. And then that changed back into art in the form of ceramics. And I don't know, it's just like kept moving and changing. And I've always had jobs where I'm essentially a maker, just doing like assembly stuff in machine shops and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's like from everywhere. That's my life. I just make stuff. I always have. But yeah, the big push that got me into this community and making content and everything was just before the pandemic. I was running a shop and we had lasers and I was cutting like 1/2-inch plate steel and all kinds of crazy stuff on the lasers and tons of CNC stuff. But we had this router that was 5x10 vacuum bed, just a killer machine, 16 tools on the back and then an 8 on board. So it was just nuts. Like, I could do anything with it. And I asked the owner, because I was the production manager and then there was the owner. Like, I was like, hey, can I carve a couple pieces of wood? I got some ideas. He's like, let's not go there. Like, what? Like, all right, fine. I'll build a CNC machine in my garage. I don't need you. So I found a kit that you just build the thing. I got all the pieces and ordered that. And then a month later, the world shut down and he just closed the shop. So I didn't have a job or anything. So it was like, well, I'm going to see what I can do with my CNC machine now. So then I had to buy a table saw and all the woodworking stuff. I had the CNC machine first.
Of course, like you do.
Yeah. Detroit goes weird. Hard something. I don't know.
It's just bass backwards. It's fine.
Yeah.
That is the natural order of things. You start with the CNC and then you get, like your Craig jig.
So does this mean
yeah, I got that.
Does this mean that you've been full-time for about 4 years?
Oh, no. I don't know, 3 or 4 months into the pandemic, they were paying everybody to stay home. So I did that. And then I just didn't know what I was doing. I'm not a great business person. Like, running my own business is not my strong suit. So especially like in the beginning, I was just in this garage of a house that I was renting with 3 kids. And I was just like, this is nuts. I was trying to find a job. And then one of my old machine shops called me back. And that was a place that I didn't ever want to go back to, but I did. And then from there, just kept applying to other places and got that, the Rockler job. It just, I don't know. I was trying to go back into brewing actually. And, I didn't get the job. Could have been a head brewmaster, but ended up at Rockler.
The health benefits are probably better at Rockler.
Yeah. I don't think I'd have a driver's license or be alive most likely.
So did you find Rockler? Or did they just like pluck you out and?
Oh no, I found him. Yeah. Anybody could have done it. I was swiping through stories And, the ads in between stories, Rockler was hiring for social media specialists, and they were open to remote workers. So I applied and I got it. And I don't know why.
Well, it was probably, didn't you DM them a headshot, like a signed headshot?
No, I actually, what I do think got me the job was like 6 months prior. Like Rockler, I had tagged them all the time when I used them and went to the store and stuff, and they would just like kind of heart the stuff. They never really like engaged too much in the DMs or whatever. But I made a stupid video of like my daughter getting out of the car and telling me that we're only here for one thing, don't look or don't touch, kind of thing. And I was like, all right. And it was in front of my local Rockler, and I tagged them in that. And apparently that helped me get a job. So my daughter got me the job.
Hey man, leverage your network. It's not nepotism if
Right.
they're your kids, right?
How old was she at the time?
6.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
cute.
also- yeah, that's young enough that doesn't count as child labor either. Like, it's totally fine.
Eh,
The laws are iffy.
yeah. You can blur the lines when it's your kids.
So how has that gone? What's it been like working for like a major brand in the space? You're creating content. What's that experience been like?
The job is great. I have an amazing boss, and all the people that I work with are fantastic. What were you saying, Link? What?
I was gonna say blink twice if your bosses are watching.
I didn't tell anyone, but they probably watched my stories, so probably.
Is that because you're ashamed of us?
No. No, I absolutely love my job. Everybody that I work with is incredible. It's kind of weird. Like the downside to it is that I'm remote, so I'm in Michigan and they're all in Minnesota. So I haven't really met a ton of my coworkers and stuff. I've only met my boss in person once, and all the other people above that, like I've never met them. I'm in Zoom meetings and stuff with them, but that's like the extent of it. But everybody, I don't know, like they have an understanding of working remote, and it's just so smooth and communication is clear. So it's fantastic. And I'm kind of in my own bubble as far as the job. Like I do all the social media moderation. So it's not like I need to really like work with other people to do projects and stuff. It's like I'm in front of a computer, I do all my moderation, and then I'm in the shop and I'm making content. And so it's just kind of like a back and forth thing. And I don't know, in my little bubble, which is probably best for the world because less Adam around is probably good.
You have actually like met these people though, right?
Oh, I don't know. This might be a giant scam. No, I have met him. Yes. We were at Workbench Con, not this just past one, but the year before that. We had a whole booth and everything, and my boss was there, and one of the product development guys was there.
Right on.
And it was like the Spider-Man meme where it was like,
right? I helped move the Novi store too. Novi is the store that's close to me, and it like moved locations or whatever. So I help them do that, and I go into the store all the time and meet the people there and annoy them.
Do they know that you're their social media dude?
Oh yeah, they know now. It was funny because like they knew me well enough as a customer because I don't know, I have that kind of personality that I just burn myself in people's brains whether they want to or not. But I like went in there one day and was like, hey, so I work with you guys now, and they were like, oh God, it's you. It was like, yep. So I don't know, it's cool, it's fun.
Yeah, I have a feeling that if I started doing the demos at the Woodcraft in my neck of the woods, that they'd be like, "Oh God, you!"
Yeah,
we're letting people learn from TJ.
I hope nobody's really learning from me. I'm definitely like, I'm just part of the marketing department. I don't think I should be wearing a hat that for Rockler that I'm a teacher.
I think you share some really good tips and stuff, though. Like you.
Do I?
Yeah,
I hope so.
Content isn't just like content. You're actually like sharing tips and tricks and stuff along the way too. So
Okay, that's good.
I think you do a good job at that.
Thanks. That's like, I don't know, with social media, and as far as like me personally, I always think that content creation is, there's like an inherent duty to the job. Like if we were just influencers and talking about like face creams and lifestyle stuff, that'd be one thing. When we're talking about shop stuff, we're doing, this is work. So there's things that you have to do to be safe. And there's a million things to learn. So as a content creator in this space, I feel like it's an inherent duty to A, share knowledge, and B, promote safety. And then everything comes after that, being stupid and having two of me talking to each other, all the funny stuff, that all comes after. Like, but you got to have like the main thing be the main thing. So it's good to hear that I'm helping.
Yeah, you say I'm not really a teacher, and then immediately explain your like core beliefs that you should teach in your content. I'm not buying it, because I mean, most of your content is informative. I mean, a lot of it's teaching about products, but I mean, you're teaching about woodworking. It is it's a focus. Yeah.
I guess what I meant is like it's not a job title. It's not in the list of like, make sure you're teaching people. Like, I don't know, but me myself, like as soon as I got into jobs and stuff, like I fell into management, and I don't know, I just have always had the idea that I was a Boy Scout, like the leadership thing was burned into my brain, but I have this concept that if everybody next to me is smarter than me, this job is going to be really easy and everybody's going to excel. We're all going to win. So I always try to be a teacher of what I know, not like correct people or anything, but I definitely like want to share everything. So teaching to me is, I don't think I have the patience and the right like personality to be a teacher like in a school or anything, but I love teaching. I don't know, especially like the machine shops in Metro Detroit and stuff. Like there's a lot of people that came in and they didn't even know how to read a tape measure, man. And they're just like 40-year-old dudes like, all right, what do I do here? And then they have careers, because I'm like, all right, let's start at step one. And it wasn't, you don't make fun of people because they don't know something. If you don't know, you don't know. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And if somebody wants to offer you that intelligence and say, hey, I'll take my time and help you improve you, I think that's a good thing. Like that's an important thing to me, I guess, but I wouldn't consider my job title or goal to be a teacher. It's just something that happens, I guess.
I feel like we're getting like a softer side of Adam tonight. This is actually kind of nice. What's going on?
You're getting to know me.
This is the fine print of Rockler Boy.
Rockler Boy, also a good person.
Also not
okay.
A rock.
Yeah, let's not go that far yet. Jury's still out.
So when you're not
...
sharing wisdom and helping others develop as humans and craft folk, what gets you stoked? What makes your eyes open extra wide and gets you excited about the day?
Going back to sleep? I don't know. This is my life, man. Like
he's living the dream, TJ.
I mean, you could say that. It's, I don't know, like making and art and crafts, creating something is definitely like the passion in me. I have to have some form of artistic outlet, and that's literally all I do now. So it's, I don't know, it's not like I've been telling myself I need a new hobby because I don't have any hobbies. I wake up, it's social media and woodworking. I'm consuming woodworking all day, whether I want to or not. So I consume all of that, and then I come out here and I'm creating content and working on projects and stuff. And then I punch out. I get my daughter from school. There's family life. I'm trying to juggle all that and still have Barnett Builds and have my personal content and jobs and my Etsy and everything. So it's, there isn't really like time for it all, but I think the thing that gets me the most excited is when I have enough victories in the day, enough little wins that I don't feel guilty for stopping. Like I think that's a problem with me, is like I would not eat. Like I'll just forget and I'll just work. So I think that's probably like my most exciting thing, is when I have things in that proper balance that my fiance Kim isn't mad at me.
Well, that's a really interesting kind of perspective that you have that a lot of people don't. Like most makers that are kind of in our space are either they're full-time woodworkers and that's like their 9 to 5 job, or 9 to 5 in as much as it ever is, or they're hobbyist or side hustle where they're working a job and then they do this on the side. Whereas you're full-time woodworking and content creation, and then also hobby content creation and woodworking. I mean, that's an interesting perspective to have. And I'm kind of surprised to hear that you're not honestly more burnt out by it. It seems like,
oh, I am. Like, definitely, like, it was too much to juggle this shop being like daytime Rockler and then like flipping back over to Barnett Builds and doing commissions and all that stuff. So I don't do commissions anymore. I just can't. And I honestly, like, the Etsy and everything else is kind of slipping. It's just, there's so much easier and less burnout if I just let this be primarily the main job, like I'll just let this be my shop, but it's very blue, and it's just too hard to like be in the middle of a project for the day job and then push all that out of the way. Like, I'm in a garage, I don't have tons and tons of space, and then pull out all my stuff. It was too messy. So I got really burnt out from that, trying to juggle all that. And definitely like imposter syndrome. Oh my God. I didn't even realize like what was going on with me for a while, but I was, we get on social media and we're all smiles, but dude, it's hard. But I kind of like, I don't know, that balance everyone's looking for and talking about, that isn't real. You just got to like figure out, all right, there's 24 hours in a day. What can I fit into this? What can I fit into that? And I don't have it figured out. I'm tired always. It's just like.
Did I hear you mention that you were also juggling 3 kids on top of all of this?
Yeah, well, my 2 have moved out now, so it's just my daughter and my fiance here. So it's just the 3 of us now, which is easier. I mean, I still have those 2 kids. It's not like they're like they died or something. They're just They don't live here anymore. So it's not like a daily picking them up and doing all the things. It's just 1 kid now, which is better.
More manageable.
Yes, a lot. But I don't know. And that's just another thing, is like, I wish I had more time. Like, I've really thought about just like stopping Barnett Builds. Just like, I think it really sunk in right before Workbench Con, and I was thinking about everything. And if I just stopped Barnett Builds, what am I really losing on Instagram? Like, my number and my community and everything I've grown. Well, like, the people in that community are on Rockler's account, and I spend 8 hours a day, because I have to, engaging with the community. I'm like, I'm not going to lose anything there. So I've really heavily been thinking that the focus of Instagram is going to kind of just be there, but not at all a priority. And I think I'm just going to like focus on one cool project a month and just record it long format so I can take my time and then just put it on YouTube. And then I'm not going to lose the community because I'm connected to Rockler still. And if something ever happens, knock on wood that it doesn't, I can go back to Barnett Builds and just, so it's like a fallback kind of thing. But I love my job. It's really cool. And it is, like you said, it's a unique perspective, but I think, I don't know. I don't think I've posted in like a week and a half, 2 weeks since Workbench Con. I don't even know if I posted anything on Instagram since then.
But can you say the same things that you would want to say as
No,
Adam? I didn't
absolutely
even
not.
finish the sentence. I did not even have to finish the
No,
sentence. That's why you still have Barnett Builds.
yeah. And I've thought about that too. Like, and I have a little bit like leaned into that where I just use Barnett Builds to vent a little. There's definitely, I don't know, social media can be incredible. We have the internet, we're more connected and have the access to more relationships and information and knowledge than ever in human history. But it's also more infinite access to anger and toxicity. And I don't know, it wears me out, but it's definitely, when I'm on the Rockler account, when I'm working, I have to speak in the voice of Rockler. It's not Adam. It's not me. It's Rockler. I'm representing the brand, and I'm customer service. Essentially, I'm watching for any issues and helping out. And yeah, I have to be very careful with what I say, because you can't just say whatever you want and argue with people. Like, that's not acceptable.
It's not Wendy's Twitter, right?
Right. I mean, the personality I have, I definitely, push the boundaries or whatever. And I get playful and stuff, and I have been told a couple times that I had to dial it back.
You
Early
moron,
on, not so much.
You sound like a Woodcraft boy. Delete. You can't say that to customers?
No comment.
Man, the stories on the Rockler account this week are spicy. Have you?
Yeah.
So, okay. Managing a corporate account and then your own personal account. Do you have one phone or two? Because
I have
juggling. Okay, juggling the two accounts, that'd be a nightmare.
No way. Yeah, that would be. That's too messy. Absolutely not. I would, if they had asked me to do that, I would have said no. Like, no way. I need everything to be separate. And I mean, especially like, I'm not like salary or whatever. Like, I got 40 hours a week. Like, when it's done, I want to put that down and I walk away from it. And it's not like because that phone doesn't stop going off, like just the Instagram account for Rockler has 217,000 followers, and it's a business. Like, you think of huge accounts or whatever and how much they just probably have. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's that, but on crack, because it's just everybody needs something. It's not just questions of like, oh, you're a maker and I have a question for your content. It's like product questions and all kinds of stuff. And I want to answer everything and I want to help everybody. So if I had that on my phone and in my pocket, oh my God, that's all I would do. I'd be consumed by it. And then I would fully go crazy.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a really important thing. I mean, for any maker, whether you're in your situation or not, is finding that balance between like, it's so easy to get sucked in. And right now you might not be working like crazy hard on the Barnett Builds, Instagram and posting content there. But that's like your little circle. And I think that's like special. You don't have to show up every day. We know who you are.
Yeah.
Your friends know who you are. Like, we're here whenever you show up, whenever you message, whatever. But it is nice to have that balance where you can be like, nope, I'm going to not be on Instagram right now. And I'm not going to be on Instagram as Rockler right now. So,
yeah, it has been nice. Like the last couple of weeks that I've, kind of been going through that mental shift of like, Instagram isn't important. It's like, it's okay. Like, just put it down. And I've had a ton of great conversations and engagements with people through their posts and through stories and my stories and everything. And I'm like, it kind of just like affirmed that for me. Like, I still have the community and I didn't lose anything in the last 2 weeks by not posting, and that's the longest I've ever gone since February of 2020. Like 5 days a week minimum since February until a couple weeks ago.
I'm proud of you.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And
It was bad in the beginning. I was doing 7 days a week posting and 3 stories minimum a day. And then, I don't know, that lasted about a year. And I was like, all right, Saturday and Sunday, I'm off. I'm not posting anything on Saturday and Sunday. And I would do stories somewhat, but that was a big shift right there. Just kind of defining like the work hours of the Instagram game. That helped a lot.
I mean, I'm not one to ask because I just post when I want to post, and I won't post for weeks and stuff either.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you're trying to grow and do, if you want to please the algorithm, you got to be consistent, and that's the thing. Like, and that's tough for me with Rockler too. Like, I wish I could churn out 5 videos a week for Rockler, but there's so much more that has to go into it, and I feel like it needs like a higher level of stuff. Like I can't keep up with that because that's not my only job there is creating content. I have like all the moderation. So it's tough to find a balance in that. And then, yeah, drawing that line, I think for Instagram as far as Barnett Builds is helping already. I've been getting more sleep, not like staying up stupid late out here trying to get a reel done or record something or get like the next step of a build done so that I can record that real quick to show tomorrow. Like all that stress kind of just went away in the last couple of weeks. So that's been nice.
We're getting a reduced stress, like a new Adam Barnett tonight. I feel like we're like
Right?
we're revealing you like a butterfly from his cocoon.
All right. Or like a lizard coming out of its other skin. No, that's gross. All right, no.
can't talk about gross stuff around Braden. He'll freak out.
No.
I don't like gross stuff.
You shouldn't have given me that power.
Oh,
Listen,
you have the power.
I talk to Braden all the time, and I only kind of knew that, but now I intend to abuse this knowledge.
Oh Lord, this is the worst. I don't know why.
So did anybody end up sending in questions? I was wondering.
We got one. Here, let me pull it up. Because it was fine.
I expected 0, so 1. That's a victory.
We don't actually get many
improvement, buddy.
Yeah, we don't get a ton of questions sent in. So actually, you're one of the first guests where somebody has deliberately sent in a question. So kudos to you. Greg Atwell asked, why is it when I go to Rockler and start helping throw away their scraps like Adam taught us, they always say something about calling the police and you must shop at Woodcraft? It's very unprofessional of them.
No comment on the last part, but yeah, you can't do that kind of stuff. Barnett Builds is not affiliated with Rockler, man.
That's one of the things that like I in my head have defined as that's an Adam Barnett thing is you throw away everything.
No, I don't. Everyone thinks I do.
You post about throwing away everything. So how did that come about? Like what's your feng shui sort of thing? Why can I not just keep my sandpaper for one more little because surf prep paper does last that long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we're saying, you got to draw a line. There's got to be a balance, man. So I come from a family on both sides, mom and dad side, of hoarders. Oh my God. And it's like, it's in my brain. Like I can keep everything and eventually turn it into something, whether I flip it or recycle it or something, like that's in my brain. So from my last shop, I was in a 1-car garage. Then I rented that garage. Moving from there, like I just got the Rockler job, and then I had to move to here. So it was like I started moving that shop and was like, why do I have this? Like, and it sucked. Like we're only like a mile down the street from where I had to move to. And I just did it all myself. Like I didn't get a truck or anything or ask anybody. It's, I'm an idiot. So I was just like, I can do this. It took forever. It took like a month and a half to move the shop. Just carloads and carloads of just lumber, scraps, all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't even remember saving it. I couldn't even identify where most of it came from. I'm like, I have never, ever used 50 slats of like pallet wood pine. I'm like, where did all this even come from? There was a whole stack under my CNC table. And I'm like, but I brought it here. I brought all that stuff over. And then I was trying to like, set this new shop up so that it could be like awesome background for my day job and also awesome for Barnett Builds. And it was just like the camera was always on one spot because everywhere else was just packed and it was just so much crap. And then I had to like, as I was growing everything and getting everything set in place, I had moved the same pile of wood like 7 times within like 3 months. And I was like, all right, this is stupid. Like, just throw it away. Like, I'm not going to use this. Like, draw a line of what's actually usable, what I need to keep, what I can use. So I just started throwing away all the small scraps. When I run the CNC machine, the drop that comes off of it, just throw it away. Just throw it away. If I'm going to do a job, the price of new lumber is built into that job. Like, yeah, there's a win if you can grab scraps and get it out of that, then you're saving money and everything. But like when I'm running a business, I was tripping over myself. I had no space. The stress just coming in here because it was so messy and everything. I'm like, throw this crap away. And then as I'm cleaning, my workbench over here has like 4 little drawers in it. It was just full of sandpaper that I've been keeping for years. Like, I can get this little corner. I might need that. No, I don't. There's more sandpaper. I can go buy more. Like you said, like Surf Prep, and there's thousands and thousands of pieces of sandpaper made every single day. I can get a new one. It's okay. But yeah, that I don't know. It was a personal thing, and joking about it helped enforce it, I guess, in a sense. And it's funny.
I mean, who actually does grab an old piece of sandpaper? They're like, I need to sand something. And they go to
Braden's doing it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we got a box of shame coming.
Oh, no.
Where'd he go?
We lost Adam. Braden, we lost Adam.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
How do we lose Adam? Where'd you go, bud?
Am I back?
You're back.
You're
What'd
back.
you do?
Yeah, it was weird. It just said disconnected. I have no idea.
Adam, I have a gift for you.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Oh, that was a great gift.
So
there you go. Look at the smile on your face right there. Screenshot that.
Intervention success.
And when you need to replace your abrasives, just remember you can save 10% at surfprep.com using code Sawdust Talk.
See? It's a circle of life, man.
You have to get closer to your mic and whisper.
Wait, this one's still good. I'm gonna keep this one.
He's immediately pulling all of that back out when we're off of this.
Is that one of them washable mesh ones?
Ironically, I've been holding on to my used scraps of sandpaper just so I could throw them away for you, which perpetuates the problem in a sense.
Right?
Adam,
yeah. I don't know.
Careful. The next time you see Braden, he's gonna have a sequin shirt.
I'm okay with that. That's a high honor.
I want to figure out how to get a fully sequin shirt so the whole thing is sequin, and I could just put a collage of the community.
Like a full blazer.
Because then
sequin blazer, like on the sleeves and stuff.
That'd be like professional, but also ready to party.
Yeah, it's like the mullet of sport coats.
That's the hammer pants of jackets.
The hammer pants of jackets.
All I have to say is if you put me in your armpit, we're done. I quit.
Now you're guaranteed to be in the armpit.
It's the warmest. It's the warmest, safest place. Always under the wing.
Aww.
Just want a sequin sleeve of Jessie's tattoos so that I can swipe up and be like my friend Jessie.
But then put them back down. So you're
so
back to business.
Harry in Midwestern.
Party.
Yeah,
perfect.
So we've talked about you and Rockler a lot. And ironically, you mentioned, Barnett Builds, like taking a backseat and all that. So I want to bring Barnett Builds back into the spotlight.
All right.
What's the coolest project, or what's like the project that you have been most proud of that you've built? Like, what's your thing?
What's my thing?
What's your thing?
My favorite thing to do is definitely like incorporating like CNC work, and just bringing in a lot of crazy aspects, technical things that are just like way above my head, and just being outside of my comfort zone. It started with the reason I wanted the CNC machine was I saw everybody playing with epoxy, and I was like, I'm using epoxy like every day in my job, like filling in, I'm carving letters and filling it for signs and stuff like that was one of the things we did at that job. And I was like, I could do this in wood, and I could do like multiple colors. I'm like, everybody's just doing this one lame thing because they don't know CNC like I do. And they, I've spent all this time with all this knowledge, and I'm like, I really want to do that. So I got into, I guess, all of it because I wanted to do multi-layered, different color epoxy inlays and start doing all that stuff. But everybody kind of figured it out like right when I started to do it. So it was just like, well, crap. But that's probably like my favorite thing to do, because there's just, I don't know, things that are really technical like that are carved with the CNC machine. You get those perfect crisp lines. And I don't know, personally, I chase that. Like, I want to get more into hand tools and see if I can kind of bring like that pencil art feeling back to woodworking. But that's kind of been my thing, was my thing. I did a lot of commissions of like epoxy multicolored logos for brands and companies, and lots of executive gifts. That was like a big thing there for a while, like the company logo and then like the guy's name on like a piece of live edge walnut or whatever. I was selling them for like, I don't know, $800 a piece. Just like, it was fun, but it was tiring. The way I do the epoxy work, I don't take the piece off the CNC machine, so it's like it's tied up for a few days, and the more colors, the longer that's tied up. I do have a 4-foot by 4-foot CNC machine, so I was doing like 4 or 5 jobs on the CNC machine at the same time in different spots on it. But yeah, that was kind of my thing. I don't know. I don't really know. Like, just woodworking, making stuff, whatever sounds fun. I have like a list of things that I want to do, but I'm going to record them for content, and like, I don't know, like leaning into the stepping away from the Barnett build so that I can do like a longer format video. I think a lot of these like crazy ideas that I have that I don't really want to say yet, I feel like if I'm too slow, so if I throw that out in the world, somebody's going to figure that, and monopolize on that before I get to it. And there's a lot of ideas that I've had. I wanted to make a giant Ticonderoga pencil, like 5-6 feet long. And there's a guy on Instagram, a weird guy, that's like actually his name. And he just built a giant pencil, and I was like, I gotta stop sleeping on these ideas. But yeah, I don't know, just making stuff that I think is cool. That's my thing, I guess.
It
sounds to me like you have a hobby.
Yeah, but I mean, it became the job kind of thing. But it's not like I'm not burnt out on that aspect of it. It's like I can still call it a hobby. I love coming out here. Like, if Daisy comes out here with me, we get to just play with epoxy. She just wants to mix all the colors and do all kinds of stuff like that. That fills me up so much. Like, last Saturday, she came out here and we just, I don't know, like 7 different little molds we filled up, and we did a whole riverboard thing that still isn't curing, and I want to fight it. But I don't know, that kind of stuff. Like, I like, I don't know. I'm so like all over the place. It's really late, and I should be in bed Central Time. But
I told you, this is our format. Chaos. Chaos is our format.
Yeah.
So
hey, existence is chaos. Nothing matters. It's fine.
Time and space. Wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
in the end,
But yeah, like the other day,
plastic.
right? That's why we have to have epoxy.
Epoxy. Gotta measure your epoxy.
Yeah, just the other day, I was thinking about like recycling old content, and looking at all of my old content, anything past like 6 months ago, I hate it. I do not like the way it looks. Like, I don't know. Not that there was like a big shift in my process or anything, but having proper lights in the shop, like I can't look at anything from my old shop. It was so dark. I was in a dungeon, man. Like, what the heck is that? It was crazy. But I was looking through all that old footage, and I have started five or six YouTube like long format videos, recorded all of it, half edited all of it, and then just walked away from them all. But the first one, I watched it, was it like 2 or 3 nights ago. And at the end of it, like I didn't have a script. So I just like took a bunch of takes of me saying stuff until it like condensed itself into one take kind of thing. And I was just like, I had just gotten my table saw and I did a project for my daughter. I made like a card holder thing to hold like playing cards because she had little baby hands. And I was like, having this table saw is the reason I was able to do this. And now, you know, a year ago, this shop had nothing in it. Now it's full of tools and this is incredible. And I get to make cool things for my family. And like 2 nights ago, I'm watching that and I'm all teared up like, oh my God, like look at where I've come. You know, I don't know. It was a whole thing for myself, like a big revelation. And I think that's something important for me to try to remember that, because I get so consumed with like, you know, you want to show everybody, look what I made. But I got to remember that it feels really good to just make something for my daughter, just make something for Kim. I don't remember the last time I made something for myself. I keep saying I will. I bet that's going to feel really good. But I don't know. One of the coolest things I made was like a floating L-shaped desk. Kim wanted it for the basement. Like we went through this whole process of finishing her basement and all this stuff. And under the stairs and along this wall, and there's like a column. It's like a weird space. And she's like, I just want a giant L-shaped desk. And I'm like, I'm going to make it solid walnut and it's going to be floating. And that desk is sick. And now I work at it every single day and Kim doesn't touch it. So.
Yes, but think of all the surface area that you have to set things upon.
So much. Do you know, you'll never see it now because I didn't stop being a hoarder. I'm just fighting it still. That desk is a mess. It's embarrassing.
But it's a live edged mess, so you know.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of, it's like 9 feet one way and 7 feet the other way. There's a lot of Lego and action figures and nerd stuff on it because I collect stuff like that. I don't know, but it's fun.
Awesome.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm also extremely humble, and I didn't want to say that I'm awesome, but since you brought it up,
I'll say
I'm pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're pretty great.
Most humble guy we know.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the most humble guy.
So there's something I needed to bring up because I am very upset with you.
Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun.
I don't have a sticker to cover half my shop.
That's not my fault. I was throwing those things out like they were candy. Why didn't you get a sticker?
There's no candy that size. You were chucking them out like the lids to 5-gallon Home Depot buckets.
That was fun. I don't know how you didn't end up with one. I think I remember handing you one actually.
Oh.
Yeah,
I do.
It looked like he was carrying around the 5th volume of Harry Potter, and he just opened it up, and it was just one more sticker.
I feel bad.
I don't know
I
why
had
there's
200 of them. She's like, I need to go check my bag. It's gonna be in like the workbench like handout bag.
Yeah, she's just gonna think that it was the W, like it was part of the bag itself. Right.
She just thought one side of the bag was white. That's just the back of the sticker. Yeah, that was funny how that actually worked out. Like I was working with Sticker Beat and they were like, hey, we'll make your stickers for you. And I was like, awesome. And like we had like some lost communication or whatever for like a couple months or whatever leading up to it. And I was like, hey, I totally forgot about this, blah, blah. And he's like, oh yeah, send me the file. And I was like, all right. And then they just said, all right, it's in the mail. And I was like, wait a minute. I didn't tell you what size I wanted or anything. So they just showed up and I was like, let's do it.
Bet.
It fits my personality. I'm just going to lean into it. Self-adhesive billboards. Here we go.
So I did check, and the largest sticker that I received at Workbench Con this year was from Papa Chad.
I am upset.
And it's bigger than my face.
That's bigger than the stickers I was handing out.
I mean, he's a big dude. He needs big stickers. But
Kind of a big dude too.
He's a big deal in Canada.
Big. Who, me or the other guy?
I don't know. Somebody's a big deal in Canada.
Somebody. Pat Lap.
He's in Canada, is he?
I got a kick out of my buddy Trevor came to Workbench Con. He's getting into like leather work, and he got the new logo, and he's getting stickers, and he's jazzed. It's his first time doing anything in the community, and so he's like, dude, I'm gonna order stickers. And he messages me because we work together, and he messages me the next day. He's like, dude, I got a smoking deal. I got like 300 stickers, and it cost me like $37. And I said, that's not right. Something is wrong. Go look. I bet you ordered baby stickers. And they show up. They are 1-inch diameter circles. And so my favorite thing to do, like this is Workbench Con for me, is hold up the Barnett sticker and hold up the Two Dogs Leatherwork sticker, and just complete polar opposites.
Yeah, I remember exchanging stickers with him, and it was like, I'm sorry, dude. He's like, man. I was like, yeah. Whoops.
No, it's like truck size, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, it's something that people are going to talk about. They're going to be like, do you remember that guy brought those ridiculous, like, giant stickers?
And same for them. Like, hey, remember that guy that was giving everybody, like, dimes?
Just the babiest stickers ever.
Those will be the stickers that people find like 2 years later in their suitcase that like got shoved into like a little corner somewhere. And they'll be like, oh my God, I totally forgot about this.
How did I get 80 of them?
It's like confetti.
You got to set up like a little Barbie size shop, and then have like a sticker board, and then make mini stickers forever.
There you go.
So is next year's plan to go even bigger, but like slice them all so that everybody has to form them together to form one sticker?
Yeah, I already told Sticker Beat like, I was like, this was hilarious, and he's like, I'm down. I was like, all right, because like I want to just like start doing that, just make some stupid huge merch for no reason, and just like, here you go. People are like, why are you passing out blankets? And I'll be like, I take care of the community, man. Get warm. You know?
Human-sized, like adhesive mouse traps. That's essentially what they are. Like next year, everybody's just caught on all these stickers that are just laying on the ground.
How you catch like somebody robbing you? You know, you just put those stickers in front of each window and door when you go to bed, and you got them. I'm saving lives, man.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the chaos that would happen if Jessie brought like little 6-inch frisbees, right? That just looked like a pancake but had her logo on it, but had like 300 of them. That'd be way
They'd be flying everywhere. We would have gotten kicked out of the hotel.
Yeah.
For sure. I'd be at the top. Like, all right, you ready? Just throwing that all the way down to the lobby, and it would have been bad.
Was it like Dustin and Hugh? Who else went disc golfing? I know Dustin did for sure.
Dave and Patrick Genzel went.
Dave and Patrick.
Oh yeah, Patrick Genzel. Yeah.
I'm kind of upset that I didn't get to go. I didn't even know about it.
I'm upset I didn't get the invite. I wouldn't have gone. I didn't want to go. I like getting the invite.
You didn't want to go play Grisby with those guys?
Ugh. Listen.
The best thing in life is canceling plans immediately. Like, there is no greater freedom and instant reward than just not having to do something. Like, so yeah, getting invited and then being able to go, no, feels great.
Listen, I go to Maker Camp to be outside amongst the trees. I go to Workbench Con to stay in the lobby in the air conditioning where the bugs aren't, and I've got like 4 bars and restaurants within walking distance.
I prefer Maker Camp. Give me a bonfire and a beer any day.
I think most of the community, it's pretty unanimous that like Maker Camp is the thing that people want to do. Why do you think that is?
Well, I know why it is. Because it's something that you actually do. It's hands-on. Workbench Con it's in the name. It's work. And this is the thing that we're all actively doing as a means to an end or trying to grow. It's an effort. It's a work that we're doing. Like, no, there's very few people that make content and they're just shitting it out, and it's just here we go, and I don't care about it at all, and it's successful. That's like extremely rare. Workbench Con is work, and we're networking, and everybody's trying to get a little nugget of information that's going to change their life, and it's exhausting. And on top of it, there's other people like me that I just want to see my friends, man. I got 2 times a year I can see all my friends, so it's like, I don't know, like, am I going to get anything out of those classes? Maybe, possibly, but is it anything that I couldn't just DM that exact person and say, hey, what do you think about, like, so, like, I don't know. We're going there and paying a whole lot of money to talk to our peers. So for beginners, somebody that's just getting into the community, somebody that's just getting into content creation, it's incredible and absolutely worth the value. But for me, I'd rather be at Maker Camp because I get to make stuff. I get to have that same experience of seeing all my friends and also like go weld something and go forge something and then just stand by the fire. Like, I don't even stop making stuff. We just kind of like turn around and start drinking by the fire. Like, you don't go, and it's better. It's different, but to me, it's better for the soul.
Plus karaoke.
Oh yeah. I was very upset that I was teased that karaoke was going to be at Workbench Con and then was not. Tiff, I'm calling you out.
I
practiced.
I was rocked to my core when I found out that it actually wasn't happening, because I also thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think you and I cover like the 2 ends of the karaoke spectrum. Like, you have pipes, I have rock star enthusiasm and need autotune. So like, we can say, like, we cover everything.
All right.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. But
yeah,
that's a core memory for Maker Camp for me is, we're, me, Pete, Dan, like, everybody's just kind of spread out and everybody's doing everything. And then just, we hear the angelic angel choir of like opera. I don't even remember what she's saying. It was like opera or something in French or
opera. It was Radiohead Creep.
Oh yeah. Same thing. And everybody just, what?
Yeah.
It was
pretty
Adam
funny.
the Pipes Barnett just crewing and just,
yeah, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I love that. I love that. We are like barely a week out from Workbench Con, and everyone already is like, Maker Camp, Maker Camp, Maker Camp, Maker Camp.
Yep.
Do you have your spot? Do you have your ticket? Do you have your this? Do you have that? Everyone's already pumped about Maker Camp because we just all want to be together again.
Them dropping the tickets like the day after was fantastic to me. It's
the Maker Camp tickets. I thought you meant the Workbench Con tickets.
No. The Maker Camp tickets. Yeah, no, we'll leave that one alone. But the Maker Camp tickets just being dropped like the next day. It's like everybody's.
I don't even have to worry about that. We just stay in one of their rooms. It's gross, but when we check out, we're like, all right, yeah, another room for next year. And then it's just a reservation made and the ticket is attached to that. Like, I don't even have to worry about getting a ticket. It's so much easier.
Is that through work?
No. That's at Maker Camp, like Blackthorn. Like, you go up to we just get a room there and it's like part of the package or whatever. You get a room and the ticket, the full weekend or whatever. So when we check out, we essentially buy our ticket at the desk as we leave Maker Camp. I'm taking care of for next year.
Right
So
on.
really, you're not paying the bill for the stay. You're basically just buying next year's. You're like ahead.
Kind of, yeah. Like we put a deposit down. So yeah, it's like, here's the deposit for next year. And then at the end of next year, we pay that off and hand them a deposit for the next year.
I mean,
See,
that
these are
stuff
the
sells
tips and
out like
tricks
that.
I knew we'd
Yeah.
get.
Secret tips. But the problem is getting a room. Like Maker Camp is so big now. All of those rooms are like reserved. And we keep trying to there's different tiers. Like there's like C rooms and B rooms and A rooms. And I don't know, we're trying to work our way up that. But yeah, Maker Camp is packed now. People don't realize how big it is. Like there's only so much space there. There's only so many people that are allowed to be in one place at one time for like fire marshal rules and stuff. Like it's getting huge. Everybody wants to be at Maker Camp. So it's like, yeah, buy your tickets right away. And if you get a room or something, like whenever you're checking out, see if you can just put your reservation in for the next year so that you don't have to sweat to try and get that ticket the day they go on sale.
Well, I think we all learned exactly how many people can go to Maker Camp legally because every single one was packed under the pavilion last year.
Yeah, the rain was nuts.
So they didn't float away.
I wasn't under there. Like Kim and I had my Brunt boots on. I did not realize how waterproof those were. Like mud up to like my ankle, like super dry feet. It was incredible. But I just kept making stuff. Like Kim and I were standing in like a mud puddle and we're like cleaning up some planes and sharpening stuff, like learning all this stuff. And everybody's over under the pavilion. And we were like, oh, hey.
I think Zach was
fun.
on too, wasn't he? Double K?
Yeah. He was in there for a long time trying to flatten the sole of a plane.
Yeah. He came back and like pulls it out of his jacket and he's like, it's wet. It's wet already.
Oh, God.
I can see him freaking out.
Yeah.
That kid holds the highest of standards for himself and everything around him.
Yeah, he does.
Beats himself up too much. I love that guy.
I don't think we're not actually allowed to refer to other boot brands by name, just so you know. We have a official Georgia Boot Company rep here now.
I'm sorry.
So legally, we're not allowed to refer to other companies.
Bruh. I'm not saying the full word. Bruh. Bruh.
You say
bruh.
bruh.
Just
I'll
bruh.
say
I'm saying. Yeah, there you go. Bruh. Oh man, you dropped the ball immediately. Come on.
Okay, boys and girls, the time is now 10:05 p.m. Central Time, and as
No, it's 11:05.
Who are you people? Where's my horse? What's happening here?
Who's on first?
But at the end of every show, Andrew, we kind of are blindsiding you with this because we didn't talk about it in pre. But if you've managed to chime in at all, I normally ask our guest to give a piece of advice or wisdom, or maybe something that you wanted to talk about that you hadn't so far in the show, to motivate our audience to kick open the door of their shop, shake off whatever's keeping them from getting awesome, go in, pick up a tool, make a mess, and get awesome. Is there anything that you would like to share with the boys and girls in the audience?
I mean, you kind of just said it. Exactly that. Just go do it. Go in the shop, kick off the dust, and make something awesome. Like, we said it earlier. Like, I'm not joking. That's one of the ways I look at life now is nothing matters. Like, it literally doesn't matter, man. We live and die. Life is so quick. I want to make as much cool crap as I can in that time. I want to put my hands in as many projects and learn as much as I possibly can. And just because, like, I don't want to make that a job or a career or anything, but I want to make some cool stuff. Like, yeah, someday, whatever, just do it. Someday is whatever day you decide is today. And then you just do it. Just do it. That's
perfect, man. That's perfect.
A little dark, but perfect.
But I know. Yeah, it's dark, but you got to find the light in it, but take both sides of that. Nothing matters, which means if you screw up, if you fail 1 trillion times, it doesn't matter. you did something. You were trying. And that is more than 95% people do in their life. They just live and die and never made a single thing in their life. And I honestly don't know how I could exist or how I could even be happy if I just like went to a job and like did computer work or something and then just came home and didn't make anything. Like, I don't know. That's why I love this community. Everybody's kind of like on that same wavelength with me and they get it. But yeah, I have to tell myself all the time, like, just don't cripple yourself with the fear of failing or the fear of like, what if I mess it up? Who gives a crap? You throw the scrap away, grab another piece and just start over. Like, just do it.
Perfect answer.
I'll throw away the sandpaper. I will not throw away the scraps. I'm busy
All right.
saving them from Dan.
Dan knows how to handle scraps.
God, I hate it. Well, speaking of making your impact before you die, special thanks to our sponsors. Go put your name on stuff using George Supply Co. to set up your own brand stuff. You can get your logo out there and make sure that you are never forgotten. And then go make some stuff. Use Surf Prep to do it because sanding sucks, but it sucks less with Surf Prep.
Hashtag sanding sucks.
All right. Well,
thanks for being on episode 109.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I was honored when you guys asked me to be on. I was kind of like about time, but I was honored.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, especially because we know you're up
My
late.
pleasure.
So, all right, everybody, we are out of here. We will be back same bad time, same bad channel. It was super weird for me 2 weeks ago when we were at WorkbenchCon not having an episode, and it's almost like thrown off my rhythm. So I had to remind myself it was Wednesday. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.